Okay, then we can go for the Spring with Hibernate. Okay, so yes, so we have to discuss all these things, and Spring Data GPI is one of the important concepts of the Spring. Okay, so if you are very comfortable in the Spring Core and Spring Boot, then I can start this. But if you are having any doubts in the Spring Core or Spring Boot, please let me know. We will discuss the things, then we can start the content. Anything is your call. What to do? Do we need a revision, or shall I start the new concept? Tell me. Guys, what to do? New
Sir,
concept?
revision.
Okay, revision. Revision of what, Rupa? Spring Boot or Spring Core?
Sir, boot. Spring
Okay,
boot.
okay. Okay, we can discuss the Spring Boot. So anybody have any doubts or any issues in the Spring Boot, guys? No? Okay. So, okay, let's revise the entire Spring Boot that we discussed. Okay, we created one basic project with Spring Boot now. So we'll discuss that particular project. Okay, so before going to the project and everything, okay, please understand what are the different annotations we used, okay, in the Spring Boot. Okay, so Spring Boot has lot of annotations, no? So we have so many annotations in the Spring Boot. Okay, please tell me what are the different annotations, okay, you have used in your project of Spring Boot. So we used one, okay, the main annotation, which is a Spring Boot application. Okay, you can see this annotation in the main class. Okay, so and we have used something, no?
Component.
Component. Okay, component is also one annotation. And we have used REST controller. Did you remember? Okay, to create the controller. Okay, so we have used the REST controller, and we have used request mapping also. Did you remember what is the use of request mapping, ma? Request mapping. Forgot. Did you forgot? And we have used something like service. We have used the service also. Okay, so we use it till now. We used these type of things in our Spring Boot application. Okay, now we have to learn about the Spring Data API. But before that, okay, let's revise the entire content that we created in the project. Okay, so actually, okay, we created three main files in the project. We created three main files in the project. The first one is the model. Okay, the second one is the controller. Okay, the other one is the service. Okay, third one is the service. So okay, to communicate from controller to service, okay, to communicate with the database from the front end application, okay, we have used something. Okay, so did you remember that? So we have used REST APIs. We have created REST APIs along with the Spring. Okay, so that REST APIs by, I mean, by using the local host connection. Okay, by using the port number, by using the mapping and mapping keyword. Okay, we have accessed the content or a REST APIs, right? So the REST API, I mean, the example for the REST API is something like the address of the local host along with the port that we are running, and okay, the message, the request message, hello. Okay, this is the one basic REST API to print something on the browser. Okay, so actually from, I mean, as a front end application, we have to request the server to receive some data. Okay, we are the people who are designing the server. So here we have to accept the user's input. We have to accept the user's input. If user, okay, requested us with a hello, okay, if user requested us with a hello, then we have to wish the user. That means we have to display something like hello user, hi user, or some any message we have to display. Okay, so here, okay, as a data server, we have to take some request from the user, and we have to process the request, then we have to produce the result to the request. Okay, we have to produce the response. Okay, so these are the things that we are running inside of the application. Okay, so Here you have to remember some keywords like request, response, REST API, request mapping variable, path variable, request body. Okay, we used some unique keywords in the Spring Boot application, so you have to make sure about those things. Okay, so let's go to our application. So here we have the application. Okay, this is our application. Let me start with the main class. Okay, this is our main class. Okay, Spring Boot application. You can see the annotation of Spring Boot application. So here we are running the Spring application.run. So do you know what will be the result of this particular running? What I mean, okay, if we run the Spring application, okay, if we run this main method, what will happen, Amma? Okay, this Spring application.run, what it does, what is the use of running the Spring application? Do you know? What is the use of running the Spring application?
Sir, start a Tomcat server.
Okay. Hmm. So this Spring application.run can do three different tasks. I told you, right? Spring application.run can do three tasks for us. The first thing, okay, so it sets up the setup default configuration for everything. Okay, it set up the default configuration, and okay, so it starts the Spring application context. Okay, the written type of the app, I mean the run method is a application context. No, so it starts the application context. Okay, it starts the application context, and the third one is, okay, it starts Tomcat server to run REST APIs. To run REST APIs. Okay, so these are the three different starts can be done by the Spring application.run method. Okay, you can see the written type of the run method is application context type. You can see here. Okay, see, it is written in configurable application context. The written type of the run method is, okay, application context. So it will create a application contact for us. Okay, application context for us, and it will create, I mean it will run the Tomcat server on some basic. Okay, the default port of the Tomcat server will be 8080. If you want to change the, okay, port number, you have to change the port number by using the application.property file. Okay, by using application.property file. Okay, so these are the different, I mean introduction to the application. This is the main source, I mean main point for the application. Now here you can see we have the one model. Okay, we have the one model. That means, okay, we have a one class with four different instant values. Okay, and we need a getters and setters, okay, to access and to pass the values to these particular variables, because those are private variables. To access private variables, we need some environment, right? So we are creating that environment by using the Lombok, which is a getter, setters, and all argument constructor, no argument constructor, and data. Okay, so this can be done by this particular model is the approach of Lombok. Okay, we have used the Lombok to avoid the, okay, writing the number of lines of code like getters and setters. Okay, I mean to insert some values. Okay, if you are having four data elements right now, okay, so it will create four getters, it will create four setters, right? So that means, okay, which will waste the 24 lines of code. But when you are using this Lombok, you can achieve all those things in just 4 lines of the code. Okay, by using the just 4 annotations, you can complete that. Okay, so generally this is the model class for us. Okay, based on this model we can, okay, manage the data of an application. Okay, so model or entity is the very important thing that you know already. And coming to the next one, we have a product controller. Okay, we have a product controller. Okay, so the product controller is the main one here. Okay, the product controller is the main one. So please tell me what is meant by controller, ma? What is meant by controller? Anyone?
Here we control our all REST APIs.
Okay. So generally, this control is a one basic Java application where we have to handle the request of user by catching the request, and we have to process the request. We have to process the request, and we have to produce the response to us. We have to produce the some response. Based on the request response. That we are passing. It is working right. So here you can see. So if user wants to get all the products at a time, then we are calling some method. So when user wants to add some product, or get product by using one particular id, so we are using that particular id. So basically this is the controller where we can handle the REST APIs. Where we can handle the REST APIs. And coming to the service, and service layer is the one of the important one. In the service layer we have a database, and by using the database, by inserting some data into the database, we are working with the service layer. So if you want to insert any data, you have to come to the service layer. In the service layer only we have to do all these things. Service layer, controller, model, and main application file. Main application file. So these are the major things in the project. If you are having any doubt, you can let me know. Any doubt in the product, controller, service?
No, sir.
Is it okay, everyone? So yeah, let's start the Spring Data JPA. To start the Spring Data JPA, and we have to discuss some theory about Spring Data JPA. After discussing the theory, we can start the implementation. But before that, give me one moment. I will be back in 2 minutes. Oh, yeah, sorry for that. So yeah, we have service, we have controller, and we have the model. These are all the things that we have in our project, right? So I hope everyone is clear with it. So yeah, let's start a discussion with the Spring Data JPA. So in the entire Spring Boot, you have to remember the annotations that we are using. That is the important thing. So we have used Lombok annotations. That means no, all argument constructor, no argument constructor, getter, setter, and all these things we have used. And did you use anything? Did you use anything else here? Mm, I think that's it. No, yeah. I forgot path variable and request body. At the rate path variable and request body. What is the use of path variable, ma? Why we need path variable? Hello, guys. What is the use of path variable? No one. Hello. Did you use path variable in your project?
Yes, sir. Path variable nothing
What
but
is
a
it? Hmm.
specifying the particular data
Hmm. Okay.
like ID
At
or name
hmm. Where you are specifying?
in
Hmm. You know it. Come on. In where we are specifying that specific data. I mean specific variable.
Maps.
Maps is not a good word. Okay, so we are specifying when
URLs.
yeah you are okay when we are requesting something from the server. Okay, so for example, okay, you want to get you want to I mean you want to retrieve your profile details, you want to retrieve your account details. So there you have to pass the unique key that you have. Okay, you have to pass the unique key that you have. That means whether it is a username, whether it is a I mean ID, whether it is a phone number, whatever it is. Okay, so we have to send one unique variable. Okay, that unique variable, okay, we have to send at the URL. Okay, when we are requesting some data through URL, okay, you have to okay mention that particular variable, particular I mean data element in the URL of the request. Okay, so when we are requesting something, no, so we are writing one URL to act I mean to request the server, right? In that particular request, in that particular URL request, we have to specify the one particular element. That element is nothing but a path variable. Okay, in the path of URL we have to specify the variable. That variable is known as the path variable. And what is meant by request body, ma? Request body, guys. What is the use of request body annotation? You have created the REST APIs also, da, but you don't know about request mapping and request body.
Where we enter the details.
Where we entered the details. Okay, the place, the position of the place where we entered the details of. Okay, what? The details of.
Like raw data, sir. In
Okay,
Postman.
okay. In the Postman, we are sending some raw data to the, I mean, server. Okay, so if you want to save I mean, if you want to save the user in the database, then you have to store the details of the user. No, so here, okay, you can write the all the details of the user in the request body of the okay URL. Okay, when you are requesting the data server for doing something, okay, we wrote some URLs, no, so in the body of the URL we have to give some data to store. Okay, we have to give some data to store, or we have to give some data to update the values or something like that. Okay, so those are the part of request body. Okay, that's a part of request body. That's okay. Okay, so while writing the request body, okay, while writing the request body, we have to specify the element in one specific format. Okay, while we are writing the I mean required body, okay, request body, okay, we have to write the body in one specific format. Did you remember the format? Okay, when we are retrieving the details of some products or some topics or some users from the database, okay, so we will get Jamal. Who is this Jamal? Mm, where are these things? Wait, hello. Okay, sorry. Hmm. Okay, while writing the request body, okay, we have to write the request body in specific format. So I'm asking that particular format. What is the format of requesting? Okay, so even when we are retrieving the details from the server, okay, we will get only that particular format of data. What is that format of data?
Sir, JSON.
Yeah, stands for JSON
JavaScript.
stands for hmm, JavaScript. Oh
Representation type.
no, that's a JSON. No, JavaScript. Anybody?
Object notation.
Yeah, JavaScript object notation. Okay, so guys, remember when you are working with REST APIs, when you are working with Spring application, we have to remember all these things. Okay. Hey, hey. నేను క్లాస్ చెప్పినట్టుగా అన్నీ గుర్తొస్తాయి వీటికి. Distractions. See how many distractions we are getting. Okay, Bhaskar, concentrate. Bhaskar, come on. Okay, sorry. Shit. If somebody will distract me, no, definitely I'll forget everything what I'm discussing. Say kuka. Okay. JavaScript object notation. Yes. Okay. These are the basic vocabulary one Java developer should know. Okay. Please remember all these things. What is meant by path variable? What is meant by Lombok? Okay. What is meant by JSON? What is the full form of REST API? Okay. What is the full form of REST API? What is the full form of REST API? Guys, today what happened?
Sir, representational state transfer.
Okay. Representational. State transfer or something. API, application programming interface. Very good. So what is the IP address of your local server? What is the IP address of your local server?
80804200.
No, 80804200. All these are the port numbers.
Sir, 1.
Yeah, those are port numbers, Ganesha. We need a IP address. Okay, remember, okay, when you are explaining the IP address will be in 4 decimal format. Okay, and the numbers of IP address should be in 0 to 255 range only. Okay, if someone asks you about 256.120. Or something, okay, 0.23. Okay, if somebody asks you, is this a valid IP address? No. Okay, because the numbers of IP address should be in the range of 0 to 255 only. Remember this. Okay, so the address of our local server is, the IP address of our local service is 127.0.0.1, and the port number will be different for the systems. Okay, by default the Apache Tomcat will run on 8080, but you can change the port number if you are already having the software. Okay, so the port number is specified for the user. Okay, that is a unique for the user. And coming to the IP address, okay, for your local server will be the same for everyone. Okay, address of the local server is the same for everyone. So either you have to write 127.0.0.1, or okay, we have some alternative for IP address. No, so what is the alternative system for the IP address? We have some alternative. for this IP address, because remembering all these numbers are very difficult, no? So that's why W3C, yeah, that's why W3C introduced one concept called DNS, domain name system. So what is domain name of your local server? What is the domain name of your local server, ma?
Localhost.
Yeah, obviously, local host. Okay, local host or 8080. So you can write, you can do something like this. Okay, localhost 8080 or 127.0.0.1 8080, which is anything which is okay. Okay, remember all these things. And you have to know the difference between the methods of REST API. What are the different methods of REST API? Did you remember?
Get, put, delete, and post.
Delete. So if I want to log in, no, okay, I want to create a one login API. So in that login API, which type of okay method I have to use, ma? Okay, I want to create an API for my login. Anybody? We can use two different protocols to perform the login, to create the login.
Get and post, sir.
Yes, obviously. Okay, we have to use either get or post method. Okay, the best one is get method, because when you are posting something through the browser, okay, your post address will be visible for everyone. That means your, I mean, your username and your password will be visible for the okay middleman. That's why we can use the either get or either post. Anything is okay, but suggest one is most suggestible thing is get. Okay. So if you want to update your password, if you want to change your password, then what is the method to change the password of the user? Put option. Okay, to update something we have to use a put option. Okay, so these are the basic vocabulary, okay, that should know, that you should remember all these things for sure. Okay, because you're not a basic core Java developer, you're a Spring developer. Okay, remember all these things. Okay, so today we are starting Spring Data API. Let's start it. Spring Data JPA. And to start with Spring Data JPA, what is stands for JPA, ma? What is stand by JPA? Very good.
API.
Yes. Yeah. Very good. So JPA stands for Java Persistence API. What is the use of this JPA? What is meant for JPA? JPA stands for Java Persistence API. Exactly correct. What it means? What is the use of using JPA? Anyone? What is the use of JPA?
So giving the functionality of ORM.
You are not allowed to use the functionality here. Okay, to discuss the functionality, we have something else, na? ORM. ORM is a functionality to implement the JPA, right? So you have to use one keyword here. When you use JPA, you have to use one keyword. Okay. Yes, come on. Okay, so I'll accept that. Okay, when you are working with ORM. Sorry?
It implements a specification.
Yeah, specification is the word. Okay, so JPA stands for, okay, it is a specification of Java, okay, which is used to persist the data between the object-oriented language and the relational database. Okay, so JPA is a specification of Java, okay, which is used to persists the data between the Java object and relational database. Somebody is calling again. See, while I'm in the class, only the people are calling me. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's write that. Okay. JPA stands for. Okay, it is a specification of Java program. Okay, of Java. Okay. So which is used to persist the data. Persist the data between the object-oriented program, okay, and object-oriented program and RDBMS, relational database management. That means SQL. Okay. And also this JPA will work as the one bridge between the object-oriented structure and a relational database. Okay, it is just a specification. Okay, it's just a specification. It does not perform any operation. Okay, to perform some operations, to implement this specification, we need a functionality. Okay, to implement this specification which is defined by the JPA, we need one functionality to implement the specification. That functionality is ORM. ORM is the functionality. Okay, what is the full form of ORM? Full form of ORM is? Anyone? You have to remember all these things. Yeah.
Object relational mapping.
Object relational mapping is the word. Okay, so ORM stands for object relational mapping. Okay, ORM is a functionality which is used to develop and maintain the relationship between the object and database. Okay, which is used to maintain the relationship between object and database. Okay, so this is the functionality to implement the specification of JPA. Okay, specification of JPA. Okay, and so this functionality is used to develop and maintain the relationship between the object and database. Okay, object and database. Okay, so this is the functionality to implement specification of JPA, okay, which is used to create and maintain the relationship between the object and database. Okay, we can map the object to the database by the row. Okay, one object of the class will be the row of the table. Okay, you can remember the relationship. Okay, so when you created one class in the JPA, that class is converted into the table. Okay, the class is converted into a table, and the parameters or the variables, we can say variables of the class, will be created at the columns. Okay, variables of the class is a columns, and objects of the class is the rows of the tables. Okay, to maintain this particular relationship, we need one functionality. That functionality is nothing but the ORM tool. Okay, to implement the functionality, we need a framework, right? To implement the functionality, we need a framework. That framework is nothing but a Hibernate, IBTs or TopLink. We have so many alternatives for Hibernate, and we are using still Hibernate because which is very popular. Okay, which is very strong in object-oriented structure. Okay, so why am I'm explaining all these things to you is here we have to learn the Spring Data JPA. Okay, this Spring Data JPA, this Spring Data JPA provides a lot of templates to you. Okay, Spring Data JPA is nothing but it has one template. Okay, we have to use the template in our project. We have to use that template in our project, and I will explain why we need to use that particular template. Okay, if we are not using that particular template, what should we do? Okay, what are the advantages of the template that we have in the Spring Data JPA, and everything I will discuss. Okay, as of now, do you have any doubts, ma? JPA, ORM, and the remaining stuff that we discussed. These are the different content that we discussed today. Remember what the run method can does. Okay, run method can create, okay, 3 different things. Okay, please remember those things. Okay, and here we have to observe the Spring Data JPA and all. Okay, we are now, okay, before moving to the Spring Data JPA, okay, before moving to the Spring Data JPA, we have to, okay, discuss one more thing, that is nothing but a Spring with ORM tools. Spring with ORM tools. Okay, ORM tools nothing but, okay, Hibernate, iBetis, and TopLink, right? So this Spring ORM framework, then that means, okay, I cannot write something. It is a tool or a framework I can write. Okay, this Spring with ORM framework, okay, provides an API to easily integrate the Spring with ORM frameworks. It provides some APIs. Okay, Spring provides some APIs to integrate this Spring with ORM tools like Hibernate, okay, iBetis, JPA, TopLink, all these things. Okay, you can easily do by using the one API. Okay, that API, and I'll explain the everything. Okay, this Spring provides, I'll explain. Spring provides an API to integrate, okay, Spring application, okay, with ORM frameworks, such as Hibernate or iBetis or TopLink or anything you can say. Okay, the advantage of this ORM framework is, okay, ORM framework is, the advantages of using this ORM framework with Spring is, okay, so actually when you are writing plain Spring core, no, you have to write lots of lines of code. But when you are using this ORM framework Spring, okay, you can write only less lines of code. Okay, the first thing that we like, less lines of code. Okay, and by using the dependency injection, we can easily test the application. So easy to test application. Okay, and here we have the, okay, better exception handling than the normal Spring core application. Okay, here we have better exception handling methods. We have better exception handling methods, and okay, so we have integrated transaction management. Okay, we have integrated transaction management in the Spring ORM framework. Okay, so what is the transaction management? We have to know why it is integrated with the Spring ORM framework. So did you remember the transaction? What is the transaction? What is the use of transaction, ma? Anybody? What is the use of transaction? Nobody is remembering. Hello? Guys, you need to revise the content. Lot of content you have to revise.
Yeah,
And
it is used to commit changes.
It is used to commit the changes. Catherine, that's it.
Yes, sir.
That's what you. Okay.
Yes.
So generally, okay, transaction is an activity. Okay. So when you are doing some, when you are doing some transactions with a database, that means, okay, if you want to insert some data into the database from your Java application, or if you want to update some details of your your project with the database, then there must be a one transaction between our Java application and and database. If you want to do some changes in the data, you need a transaction for that. For example, if we want to send some amount to the some amount by using our UPI payment gateway, we need to do the transaction. So transaction, within the transaction we have to make some changes. We are allowed to change something within the transaction only. First of all, we have to begin the transaction. After beginning the transaction, we have to enter our UPI ID. After entering the UPI ID, if it is correct, then amount will be deducted from our account, and amount will be transferred to the receiver's account, right? That's what happening with the UPIs. But here, in our project, so first of all, we have to start the transaction. We have to begin the transaction. After beginning the transaction, we have to do changes. If you want to insert the data, you can insert the data. After inserting the data, we have to save the details. We have to save the details, no? So that's why you have to commit the transaction. So that's what we have to do. So here, so the transaction management, that means beginning of the transaction, committing the transaction, all things can be done by this framework. We no need to start the transaction, we no need to commit the transaction, it will do automatically. It will do the transaction management automatically. That's why it requires less lines of code. That's why it requires the less lines of code. We no need to start the we no need to start session object, session factory. So when we have Hibernate, so we are using session factory, session, transaction management, transaction, so many things we have used, right? But here, no need to start that session, no need to create the session factory, no need to commit the transaction. All things are not mandatory, because those things are integrated by framework. This ORM framework can do all these things by default. That's what the main advantages of Spring Boot, right? So you can forget the configuration. You have to remember the convention over the configuration. All this configuration can be done by automatically by the ORM framework. That's why we have to use the Spring with ORM framework. In that particular ORM framework, we have two different things. One is Spring Data JPA, and Spring with Hibernate. We have to learn two things with the ORM frameworks. The one thing is Spring Data JPA, and the second one is Spring with Hibernate. We can discuss Spring with Hibernate later. Now it is the time to start the Spring Data JPA. So generally, this Spring Data JPA framework, is providing, this JPA provides, this framework provides templates for us. JPA template to us. Sorry. This Spring Data JPA provides the one template to use. One template class. To integrate with our Spring application. So for example, so when you are creating the collection program in the services, you are retrieving the details, you are adding the details by using the the basic list methods. These are all the basic list methods, right? Product list.stream. These are the collection methods that we have. But in the real time, we are not allowed to use the collections to store the data, because these collections and everything will be the local things. So these are the local data elements. So we have to use some relational database management to maintain the data heavily, right? So here we are not allowed to use the all the methods in the service layer. We have to create some repository. we have to create the repository. This repository will have all the methods, okay, to communicate with DB. Okay, we have one repository. In that particular repository, we will have all the methods to communicate with the database. That means, okay, our MySQL, our any type of database, okay, can be created in the repository only. Okay, we are not allowed to do the things in the service layer. Okay, so this repository is the template for us. Okay, we no need to create anything, any single thing in the repository, because okay, this ORM framework, Spring Data JPA, will create all the things for us. Okay, so here we can use the basic repository to maintain the data. Okay, so you will get the template instead of a scratch programming. Okay, you have to do all these things by yourself now, but you no need to do anything. Okay, that's a scratch program. No need to design from the scratch, because we have some inbuilt code. We can use the inbuilt code. Okay, all the basic configurations created by the Spring Boot applications that we discussed, right? So that is the main use of Spring Boot applications. Okay, we no need to write all the things by ourselves. Okay, so here we have one repository to manage all the methods to communicate with the database. Okay, the main use of this template, okay, the main use of this template or a repository is, okay, we no need to write the code for configuring the methods, okay, beginning the transactions, creating the sessions, handling the session factories. Okay, so all these things we doesn't need anything, right? This repository, okay, this template will have all the things internally. Okay, this template have all the things internally. Okay, it saves lots of code for us. Okay, it saves lots of codes for us. Okay, so here we can write, I can write something like, okay, the use of this template repository is okay, no need to configure, okay, no need to start or committing the transactions and so on. Okay, the use of this template repository is no need to do all the things by ourselves, because okay, we have so many automated methods. By using those automated methods, we can do. Okay, so this is this is all about the Spring Data JPA. Okay, so in the Spring Data JPA, what is the use of Spring Data JPA? Spring Data JPA will provide one template for us. Okay, it will provide one template. In the template, by using that particular template, okay, so we can write the methods. We have to consume the methods in that particular template by calling the names. Okay, so we are not allowed to change the template coding or anything. Okay,
Sir, repository is a template.
yeah, that's a template. Okay, repository is not a GitHub repository. We have JPA repository. Okay, JPA repository we have. Okay, so in GitHub we're also calling, okay, our folders as a repositories. Okay, but here it is a JPA repository which have all the methods. Okay, now we have to create a one Spring Boot application to use this repository. What is to check what are the different advantages of this repository and what are the not. Okay, so we will get all the basic configuration, all the sessions, all the session factories. That's a default by the system. Okay, now we have to write the code. Okay, no need to write the configuration, because this is the Spring Boot application. That is the main agenda of Spring Boot application. No, so convention over the configuration. Okay, so now we can create a one simple Spring Boot application where we can design, okay, these things. Okay, we already created the Spring Boot application with the collections, right? So we have created REST APIs with collections, but now we have to create Spring Boot application with Spring Data JPA. Okay, Spring Data JPA. Okay, so now I will explain you how to create the file and what are the different things that we need. Okay, so after explaining that particular project creation, okay, I will explain the project creation now. Okay, after creating the project we can take about 15 minutes. Okay, after 15 minutes, okay, we can discuss the coding part and everything. Okay, so let's start. I mean, let's create a one simple project. Okay, to use the Spring Data JPA. Okay, so let's go back to our application. This is our app. Let's close everything here, close all. Okay, so click on the new file. So here please type spring starter project. We need spring starter project. Next. Okay, so here you have to name your project. So I'm naming my project as uh, what is the name? Suggest me some name. Spring shopping. Okay, spring shopping. Okay, spring shopping is the package name. And next, okay, here we have some default things, no? So here we have some default available dependencies, na? So actually I have used the Apache Derby Spring so and so. Okay, but you don't know about things. Maybe you are not having this particular tab on your on your editor. So for that, okay, you can click on the web. Okay, here you can click on the web. You have to select Spring Web application, Spring Web. Okay, we have to create Spring Web interface. And coming to the, okay, here we have to create something like SQL. Okay, we need a Spring Data Web. And please down, and here you can uncheck. I mean, here you have to open the SQL. Here in the SQL we have to do something. Okay, we need a Spring Data JPA. That's what I told you, no? Spring Data JPA, we need, select it. And we need some database. Okay, I don't want to use the SQL because, okay, SQL is something heavy. Because, okay, when you are using SQL we need so many things. We need a SQL connector. Okay, so we need a SQL workbench, so many things. We need a great connectivity and all we need, no? So after selecting the Spring Data JPA, please select Derby, Apache Derby database. We are using Apache Derby database. Okay, either you can use H2 database as well, but Apache Derby is the, okay, the default database in the Spring application. Okay, it is the default database in the Spring application. So here you can select Spring Data JPA, Apache Derby database, and Spring Web. And now you can click on next. After selecting those three, click on next. Okay, and click on finish. Okay, it will create one empty project for you. Spring Shopping. Okay, this is the app. Okay, this is the app we have, Spring Shopping. Okay, this is the Spring Shopping main application. Okay, here we have to create our project. Okay, now let's go back to our pom.xml. Here in the pom.xml you can see something. Okay, see, so actually we have Java version 17. Okay, Spring Boot starter data JPA. We have Spring Data JPA and we added that. And Spring Boot starter web. Okay, this is a compulsory one. And we have added Apache Derby software to handle the database, local database. And we have some Spring Boot starter test also. Okay, so here, okay, as per our thing, we have two. Okay, we have two things. One is Spring Data JPA and Derby software. Okay, so we can learn these two things, then we can move to the coding part. Okay, so here, okay, we have to create the package structure. Okay, so shall we use the same example, some product management, some online shopping, something like that, as per the previous one? Also, can we use same thing? Online shopping, is that okay? Online shopping, guys, online shopping is okay or not? Okay, online shopping, go with online shopping because it has a lot of method to explore. Okay, yeah, so Okay, so these things, I mean, we created Spring Starter project. We have to create the Spring Boot Starter project where, okay, you can mention all the Apache Debbie software and the Spring Boot Starter, Spring Boot, Spring Data API, and everything we should mention. Okay, so yeah, let's take a break for 15 minutes. After coming from the break, we can discuss all these things. Okay, chalo, let's have 15 minutes of break. After coming from the break, we can dive into the programming. Hello guys, are you back? Guys, how many are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 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 Let's start the coding. So here we have created the one Spring Starter project with the following dependencies. One is one dependency is Spring Data JPA dependency, and another one is Spring Derby. I mean the Derby Apache Derby database, which is a local database. Which is a local database. So that means we are not having any interface to access the database. We are not storing permanently. This is a temporary database. That we are using for our project. This Derby is the temporary database, and we need a Spring Boot starter web also. To create the REST APIs, to work with the REST APIs. We need a Spring Boot starter web. And if you want to add a Lombok, you can add the Lombok also. So let's add the Lombok also here. Okay. Mm, so go to Maven dependencies, Maven project Lombok. Second. So here you can use anyone. So actually, so here you can copy the dependency. So in Spring Boot, no, so you no need to provide the version. By default it will get the version which you want. So you can remove the version. You have to mention the only the artifact ID and group ID. You can see this Spring Boot starter data JPA doesn't have any version. So our files doesn't have any versions because it will download the required versions. It will download the required versions. So here we have, we have added all the things that we need for our project. That means project Lombok, Derby database, and Apache data Spring data JPA, Spring Boot starter web. All these things are added automatically. So here so we have the main method. Our application has one main package, which is the com.spring shoppy is the package name. We have the one main package, and in the main package we have the main class, which is the starting point of the project. So here so let's create the same project. Product service, product controller, product model. Let's create all the things same. So I need a one class, product class. So product class must be placed in model package. We have one model package. And we need a controller, no? So product controller we need. So, and this product controller can be stored in the controller of the application controller. And again we need a service. Product service. Product service we need, and this product service can be stored in service package of the project. And so here we need a something new. We need a something new, that is a repository. We need a repository. So here I'm creating product repository, and this product repository can be stored in repository package. We have the product repository. Guys, now you can see the architecture of our application. We have the main package. In the main package we have the app, and we have the controller. In the controller we have the product controller. In the model we have the product model. In the repository we have the product repository, and in the service package we have the product service. Okay, this is the model structure that you have to create to work with the Spring Boot application. Remember, okay, when you are creating the packages, no, when you are creating the package, you have to remember one important thing, Amma. Okay, the important thing when you are creating the packages is, okay, every package, that means model, service, controller, repository, so on, so okay, all these packages must be the sub packages of the main package. Okay, here we have the main package, which is a com.spring shoppy. Okay, so here you can see, okay, controller is the controller located in com.spring shoppy.controller. That means, okay, in the Spring Shoppy folder we have the controller. In the same folder we have the model and repository and service. Okay, in the same folder you have to create all the things. Okay, so you cannot create, okay, your controller or a model as the parent of the main class. Okay, you have to create the child classes for the parent only, remember. Okay, that's why Ganesha got error. You can see the error. Okay, we solved the error, no? So we have to create the project structure in specific manner only. Remember, the project structure is also important here. Okay, so yeah, let's create some model. Okay, so this is our model, na? So this is our model. We have the Lombok also. Let's create some variables for the model. Okay, so private int product ID. Okay, private string. Okay, product name we want, product name. Okay, again private integer product price. Okay, product price. Okay, private integer product availability, product available. Okay, these are the different variables that we can have, and we have one database, no? So we want to store the details of the product in the database. Okay, actually we are not working with the collections anymore. We are using the database to store the product details. So to create the, okay, one table in the database, we need some annotations in the Hibernate or JPA. In the JPA we have some unique annotations to create, okay, I mean to create the table. Did you remember the annotations, ma'am? To convert a table into database, we have to use one annotation. Did you remember the annotation? No one?
Entity?
Yes, entity is the annotation. Okay, so here we have to use the entity. Entity is the annotation, and we have to import the entity from the persistence. Okay, and okay, our product ID is the primary key, and here we have to mention the ID as a product. Okay, and now we need the all the getters and setters, right? So here getter, setter, import the getter and setter from Lombok. Okay, and all arg constructor. Okay, all argumented constructor, and no args constructor. No arg constructor. We need a no argumented constructor also. Okay, these are the annotations that we need to add in the model. Okay, this is the model entity for our application. Okay, and now here, okay, we need to create some controllers to handle the request, and here in the service, okay, to create the response to the request, we need a product service, and this is the product repository. Okay, this is the new one for us. Okay, this is the new one for us. Okay, so here, okay, actually by mistake I created the product repository as a class. Here we need a interface instead of a class. Okay, so actually, okay, so this we are using data JPA. You can see we are using Spring Boot Starter data JPA, right? This Spring Boot Starter data JPA is providing one repository for us. Okay, one repository for us. Actions. Okay, that repository is JPA repository. Okay, JPA repository. So here you can see, okay, JPA repository, which is, where is this JPA repository? Okay, so actually let's change this class to interface. Now it will display the interface. Okay, now we need to extend the JPA repository, import JPA repository from Spring Framework data JPA repository. Okay, you have to import this repository. Okay, right now we have the repository. Okay, now here in this repository you can see the methods of the repository. Okay, right click on it. Okay, here you can see, okay, we have find all, find all by ID, save all, flush. Okay, save and flush, save all and flush, delete all in a batch, delete all in batch, delete all in by ID by batch. Okay, see, we are having so many methods here. Okay, get reference by ID, find all. Okay, we have some methods, na? So we have so many methods here, okay, to communicate with the database. Okay, this repository have so many methods, okay, to communicate with the database. So that's why we need to create the instance of this repository. Okay, we need to create the instance of repository. Okay, so here when we are using this repository, we have to mention two important generics. We have to use generics. Did you remember what is the generics? Did we use generics anywhere in our course? Generics. No one. Guys, did you remember the generics? We have used this generics in somewhere in the course.
List.
List, yes. Okay, so we can say collections. Okay, when we are creating a array list, linked list, maps, hash maps, or sets. Okay, so we have used the generics to define the type of the data in the collection. Okay, so what type of the data can be stored, what type of the data can be processed through the collection. Okay, for example, if you take a array list, okay, in the array list we want to store only integers. So array list, within the array list we have mentioned integer, right? Okay, we have mentioned the wrapper classes. Okay, so we have to define the, okay, what it meant by. So we have to define the data type of the variable or data type of the content that we are mentioning in the collection. So here we have to mention the same generics. Okay, so the first part is we have to mention the, okay, model that we are using. Okay, so by using the product model, we want to, okay, process the different methods. We want to access the product model, content, and everything, right? So that's why here we wrote a product. Okay, and here the primary key of the product is, okay, product ID, which is the type of integer, right? So here we have to mention the integer. Okay, you have to mention the type of the product. Okay, type of the primary key. Okay, so here product, we have to import the product from model package, yes, model. Okay, so this is the repository. This repository, by using this repository we can create the different types of methods. Okay, by using this repository we can create different types of methods. Okay, so here let's create the content. Okay, so here this product controller is the REST controller. We need to specify the annotations everywhere. Controller, import the REST controller, and this service is the, okay, service controller. We have to mention the service annotation also, service. And here this is the repository, no? So we have to mention the repository here. Repository. We have to mention the annotations for every class. Okay, one annotation. The type of the, particular, okay, the usage of the particular class can be created with the, okay, annotation. That's why we have to mention the annotations for every single class in the Spring Boot application. Okay, so here we have the product controller. Product controller is nothing but a, okay, this is the responsible to handle all the requests which is coming from the user, right? So here I will create the two different, okay, element man, two different APIs which is to which is used to get some, the which is used to get retrieve all the contents from the database, to retrieve all the products from the database, or which is used to insert some data into the database. Okay, so we are using one database, which is the, what is the database that we are using? What is the type of database? We are not using
Apache
SQL, no?
Derby.
Yeah, we are not using SQL. We are using Apache Derby here. Apache Derby is the local database. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. So here we have to handle the request coming from the server. So request mapping. Okay, request mapping. So I want to retrieve all the details. So here we can use the one method called get method equal to request method dot, what is the method man? Get. Okay, and what is the value that we are going to use? Products. Okay, method is public. List of products we want to, okay, list of products we want to, that means what? We want to return. So that's why the return type is list of products, get all products. Okay, so here we have to return some list. Okay, and here we have to import the product from product controller. So first of all, let me go this. Web bind annotations. We need to find annotations. Why is it showing error to me? Do you know why? Request method. This request mapping, why? Disallowed at this location. Why? This is inside of the method and we are returning. Okay, let's leave this. Okay, so we can create a one service to retrieve all the products from. Okay, so here let's create a one method public, okay, which returns the list of products. Will return the list of products. Get all products. Okay, I think I forgot to mention the parenthesis. That's the reason it is showing some error. And we have to import the product from shopping model. So here we have to return the list of products. So first of all, we need a list of products from the database, right? We need to fetch the list of products from the database. Okay, guys, remember we are not using collections here. We are using, okay, database. We want to fetch the details from the database. Okay, so here we can, okay, we have to fetch the data by using the from the database, right? So here I will create a list of products. Okay, product list equal to new array list, which is the new list. Okay, so here I am not going to tell any generics. Okay, we have to import everything and product from the model and array list from the utility package. Okay, right now we have, okay, list of products. Okay, we have list of products. So we have to, we have to fetch this list of product from database. Okay, where we are having the all the methods for to communicate with the database. Generally in Hibernate, okay, we have session object. By using the session object, we can communicate with the database. Session object can have the methods like create query, get, set, so many things it has, right? So here we have the repository which is going to communicate with the database. What is the name of the repository that we are having? Product repository. So here we need to perform dependency injection with the product repository. Okay, so here, okay, I'm using private, okay, product repository, okay, repository. Okay, so here I can use the auto wired option, okay, to create automatic dependency injection. So I think you guys are well aware of this auto wired and everything. Repository. Okay, we have the repository. Okay, this repository is going to communicate with the, okay, our database, our Derby database, right? So here, okay, from this repository, okay, we want to find everything, right? We want to find everything from this repository. So find all. Okay, find all. So after finding all the content, okay, so we need to push it to the array list that we are having. Okay, we have a product list, no? To that particular product list, we have to add every product. So here I'm using for each statement, and here, okay, we have the product list, no? We have the product list, and here I'm using method reference, ma. Okay, by using method reference, I am adding the products to the product list. Now here I can return the list of products that we are fetching from the database. Return product list. Now you can see, okay, this here we are using the method reference. I think you have remembered this method reference which we explained in the Java 8 features. Okay, when we are working with the stream APIs, we discussed the method reference. Did you remember? Okay, by using the method reference, we are adding all the products which is, okay, fetched from the database to our application to the product list. We created one empty product list. To that particular product list, we are, adding the details. Okay, now we need to use this particular method. We need to use this particular service method in the controller, right? So here in the controller, okay, we need to perform dependency injection again to the controller. Okay, so private product service is the service. Okay, and I want to convert this variable as a, okay, object. So that's why I'm using auto wired option here. Auto wired, you know about auto wired, and import product service also. Okay, we have imported everything. Now here from this particular method, we have to return the element. Return service dot service as one get all products method. By using this get all products, we can return the list of products from the database to our Java application. Okay, right now we are having some local database, na? So by using that local database, we are fetching the values. Okay, we are fetching the values by using the repository, because this repository, this JPA repository, having all the methods like find all. Okay, you can see all the methods it has. Okay, it has so many methods. Okay, so we are using this method to get the elements. Okay, so here you can see this JPA repository extending so many things. Okay, query example executor. Okay, here we have so many methods. Find one, find all. Okay, here you can see so many examples. Okay, we have so many things. This repository. Okay, so here in the repository, you no need to write a single line of a code in the method body. Okay, we need this repository, that is a product repository, and which is extending from JPA repository. Okay, we created a object for this product repository in the service. Okay, with the name of repo. Okay, so from that repo, okay, from that particular repo, we are finding all the elements. We are finding all the elements from the database. The product which is coming from the database is going to be added to the product list by using the method reference we are creating. Okay, is this clear for everyone? Get all products from the database. Is this clear, ma?
Yes, sir.
Give me a minute. Gopal Sharma. Who is this Gopal Sharma? Some unknown persons are adding me into some groups here. I'm having more than 200 groups in my WhatsApp. Still, I'm receiving the request. Okay. Sorry. Yes. So we have get all products method in the service, and we are consuming this method in the controller. When the user is requesting to get the all the products from the database, we are consuming the get all products method in the service, and this service method designed using the repository. Okay, now let's create a something interesting, which is a add. Okay, so we want to post some products into the database, so that's why we are creating another method, requesting mapping. Okay, now the method is, what is the type of the method now? Request method. What is the type? The request method type is
Post.
the post. Value should be value equal to, okay, products again, products. Okay, yes, products. Okay, actually we need to create the method, not here. Public void. Okay, so here add product, and we have to get the product from the request body. So here we can use the request body. Okay, product p1. Okay, so request body, same like a previous project, but with a different syntax. That's it. Okay, so public void add product. Okay, so here in the service we have to create the method first, then we can consume it later. Okay, public, okay, void add product. Okay, to add product we have to expect the product variable product p1. Okay, so how to add product into the database? Did you remember the method to add? So repo dot, we have one method called save an entity p1. Okay, repo dot save, that's it. No need to do anything. Okay, because we are storing the details in the database, no? So that's why in the Hibernate you can see the save method, na? Okay, by using the session object you can save the method. Here by using the repository we can save the element. That's it, nothing difference. Okay, so we have to consume this method in the controller. So service dot add product p1. That's it, we are done. Okay, now let's start the our application to process. Okay, so this is a console where we are having main method. This is the where is the main? This is the main. Okay, run this. Sorry, we are having some issue. Okay, run this program with run as either run as Java application or run as Spring Boot application. Anything is okay. Run as Java application as of now. Okay, something is happening. Okay, something is happened. Now you can see Okay, Tomcat started on the port 8080. Okay, so ignore the warnings. Okay, ignore the warnings because we are not mentioning any database name and everything, right? We didn't configure the database because we are using the local database. Okay, so go back to our application. So this is the browser. Okay, here I want to fetch all the product details. Okay, 127.0.0.8080. So products. Okay, I want to fetch the products. Okay, right now it is showing an empty list. It is showing an empty because we are not having any products in the database, right? We didn't add any product to the database. That's why it is showing some issue. Okay, so let's add some values through the postman. Okay, so here we have to use the post. Okay, this is the previous object that we created. Okay, so I'm copying the syntax. Okay, let's open the new one. So here we have to use the post object, post method we want to use. Okay, the URL is 127.0.0.1 colon 8080 slash products, and in the body we have to type the body raw. Okay, so ID is 101. Okay, and something like one of my favorite laptops, Alienware. Okay, which is 2 lakhs maybe. Okay, and here we have to add the header, right? So in the header here, type the content type. We have to specify the type of the content that we are passing. Okay, we are passing JSON type content, so application JSON. Okay, and here we have the body, and let's send the body. Okay, we got some empty empty output maybe. Okay, so no error. No error means success. Okay, now here fetch the data. Okay, we have the data, product 101 Alienware 2 lakhs, and which is the 5 products are available. Okay, now let's add another value also to the database. Okay, so here MacBook Pro, okay, which is 1,80,000. Okay, 7 products are available, and ID is 102 is the ID. 02 is the ID. Now let's end again. Okay, yes, we send it. Here you can see product 102 MacBook Pro 1,18,000, and available products are 7. Okay, so we are getting the details, okay, from the database. Okay, so this is how you have to create the REST APIs which is communicated with database. Okay, so we are using some local database okay, if you relaunch your application, okay, if you relaunched your application, okay, the data will be erased because, okay, we are not using any centralized DBMS. We are using some local database to understand the structure of program, to understand the importance of repository. If I refresh this, okay, again we have an empty list because, okay, so we relaunched our application, that's why the data is erased. Okay, so we are using some local transaction database, okay, to understand the structure of repository. This is how you have to create the, okay, Spring Data JPA application. Remember guys, this is the model and this is the controller, okay, where we are handling the request coming from the user, and this is the services that we are performing, and this is the repository we have. Okay, so you have to understand the service layer first, because controller is the same one. Okay, controller is the similar to the previous one, but here, okay, you have the new syntax because we are having some local database to communicate with. Okay, who is this RMN center, head of your base center? Guys, give me a minute. I have to write some mail. Where is my mail ID? Introduction to class share detail sharing. I am new academic spoke. Who are you, Ron? Center code, regional head, center head, faculty name, mobile number, email address, batch code, batch time. Okay. Okay, I'll write it later. Okay. We can write this later. Because he asked to share by the end of the day. Invitation to join, one click for joining contest. Okay, let's leave all this stuff. Okay, sorry. Guys, please observe the things. Okay, if you are clear, I can write more methods. Shall we write more methods to update the value? To delete the value. Okay, till now everyone is clear, no? Guys, two methods we wrote: add product, get all products. Okay. So let's do one more thing. Okay, I want to retrieve only one particular product from the DB. Okay, one specified product from the DB. So let's do that. Public void. Okay, get product. Okay, get only one product by using the ID of the product. Okay, by using the ID of the product. So here again repo dot. Okay, actually we used one lambda expression to retrieve the details of a product and everything, right? So here we no need to do all these things. Okay, we have one method called find by ID. Okay, find by ID. Here we have to specify the ID. Okay, that's it. Okay, by using the ID we will get the value. Okay, find by ID, that's it. Okay, see all the transactions. Okay, actually when we want to insert one data into the database, we need to start the transaction, then we need to commit the transaction, we need a session factory, all those things we need. But right now we don't have anything because we have the repository to do. Okay, repository is the responsible to create the session factory and all those things. Okay, remember. So here, okay, I created a get product method. So from the product controller, okay, we have to put something. At the rate request mapping. Okay, so method equal to request method dot. Okay, again we want to get the product, right? Get, and the value is okay product slash, we have to specify the ID. Okay, so ID from the path variable. Okay, so here we have to create the method liquid get product. Okay, so in this get product method we have to read the value from path variable int ID. Okay, so import the path variable. Okay, so here we have to consume the one method from the service layer, service dot get product, and we have to refer the ID there. Okay, we have to refer the ID there. Okay, relaunch our application now. Okay, relaunched. Okay, relaunched. Now go back to our application, insert some values. Okay, 101. Okay, now 102. Okay, Alienware. Okay. Again 103. Okay, 10 products we have. Okay, right now we have 3 products. Okay, now you can see get all products. Okay, we have 3 products. 101 is MacBook, 102 is Alienware, and 103 is Asus TUF Gaming. Okay, user wants to retrieve only one product, which is 102. Okay, now you can click on the send. Now, actually, it has to display a product, no? But it is not displaying any product. Okay, let's see from here. Product 102. Okay, so it has to display product, but we are not getting any product. Okay, so let's change the method here. Actually, in the service method we are using find by id. Okay, let's use some other method to retrieve the product details. Repo dot find. Okay, here find all, find by id. No, find by id. Okay, so we have something like find by one. Okay, I'm using this find by one. Okay, by id. Find one. Okay, this find one. Oh, this is the major issue. Actually, we have to return the value. No, I'm not returning the value. Sorry. So this is the problem with this code. Okay, we have to return, no, but here I wrote void. Actually, we have to return product. Okay. Return repo find by id, and this will return an optional product. Okay, if id is available in the database, then it's okay. If id is not available, okay, then it will send null object. No, so that's why optional product. Optional is nothing but if id is okay, id is found in the database, no, it will display. If not found in the database, okay, so it has to do something, right? So that's why. And here we have to return the product now. Product. The product, and this will create an optional product. Okay, now we can go. Again we have to see, again we have to insert, sorry, 103 Asus TUF Gaming. Okay, it took some time to console. Okay, now we can. Okay, we have to post it. So we can do one thing. Okay, actually when we are posting the database, we are getting some empty message, no? So I don't want to see empty message. Okay, I want to see some message, some success message. Okay, written successfully added. So I want to return one message. Okay, string. So here also we can we can return the string. Okay, now relaunch our application. Let's check whether system is started or not. Okay, started. Now you can send the product. Okay, see, when we are sending the product, okay, it is showing successfully added. Okay, 102 now. 102 is what is no 102 Alienware, no? Alienware, which is 1,70,000, and we have only 7 products. Successfully added again, and I want to insert one more laptop. 101 is MacBook. Okay, we have mentioned. Okay, successfully added. We have 3 values right now. Let's retrieve the values. See, 103, 102, and 101. Okay, I want to retrieve only 102. I want to retrieve only 102. Now enter. See, 102 is Alienware laptop. Okay, I want to retrieve only 101. 101 is MacBook. I want to return only 103. 103 is Asus stuff naming. See, we are getting the details from the database, right? So this is the stuff that we want. Okay. So make sure, okay, while returning something, okay, so if you are returning, you make sure, please, I mean, you have not used the void keyword. Void means null, I mean, no return type, right? So we have to return something. So this is how we have to retrieve the product details from the database. Guys, is this okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mm, shall we delete the product? Let's create a one method to delete also. Okay. So in the service, we can implement the method public. Okay. So when we deleted, no, so I want to retrieve, I mean, I want to send one more object. I mean, one more string object. Okay. Delete product. Okay. Delete product by using obviously the ID. The ID. Okay. So here return. Okay. Sorry. We have to first we have to delete the object, right? Repository dot, okay, delete by id, delete by id. Okay, so here we have to specify the id. Okay, and now we can send one message also, deleted successfully. Okay, now let's consume this method in the controller. Request mapping. Okay, so what is the method to delete the element, ma? What is the method? Which method we have to use?
Delete.
Obviously, delete. Value should be value equal to product slash path variable id. Okay, so here public string delete product, path variable int id. Okay, so return service dot delete product. Sorry, that's it. Okay, now again, okay, before relaunching the program, let's copy everyone. Okay, because every time we are doing, okay, same thing, no, let's copy this and save it in the notepad. Now we can relaunch the application, because if we relaunch the application, no, we will lose the content. No, every time we have to add that, it will be a hectic task for us. Okay, something is happened. Now go back to application. Okay, now get the list of products. We have 0 list of products, that's why it is empty. Okay, so let's insert the data. So post method, okay, successfully added. Now let's add the another method also, another product id 102. Okay. third one. Okay, actually it is 103. Now let's retrieve all the details. Get. Okay, we are having some details. 101, 102, 103. Okay, so I want to get only 103. 103. Okay, we are getting 103. Okay, I don't want to use this 103. Okay, I want to delete it. So click on the delete. Okay, delete product 103. Now you have one message called deleted successfully. Okay, now retrieve all the elements. Get products. Okay, now you can see. Okay, we have only two. Okay, product 101, 102. Okay, 103 is deleted. Okay, so this is the how you have to delete the elements. Guys, is this clear, ma? So actually we have created the, yes, wait a minute. Sir, good afternoon, sir. Okay, yeah, sorry. So we created the same project earlier, but in the same project, I mean, we are not using any database in the previous project. Okay, but today we are using some local database, which is the Apache Derby. Okay, okay. From, I mean, if you are familiar with these actions, okay, if you are familiar with this, okay, structure, then we can save the all the details in the our SQL database. We can use the SQL database when you are familiar with all these, okay, things. Okay, if you are not familiar, no, so the connections, the properties, okay, all those things will be difficult for you. That's why I used some local transaction database, okay, to understand the structure, how controller is working, how service is working, how repository is working. Okay, please make sure about the every file. Okay, please use the structure first. If you are okay with the structure, then we can create the end product by using MySQL, Hibernate, and everything. Okay, let's write some comments and everything. Getting all products from DB, adding new product to DB. Okay, and here getting specific product from the DB. Product from DB. Okay, and delete product from DB. Okay, so these are the things, and from the service layer, okay, same comments, getting products and returning to the controller. Okay. Repository to communicate and configure the DB. Getting product if ID is available. Delete product by using ID. Okay, that's it. Okay, and we have the repository, and this is our application, and this is our model class. That's it. We have four main classes ma. One is product.java, which is the model, and one is the controller, and one is the service, and we have one more interface. This is the product repository is the interface. We created the object for the interface, okay, by using the auto-wired option. That's it. Okay, guys, please check the every damn file. If you are having any doubt, if you find anything okay new, please ask me. Model, okay, controller, okay, service, and this is the repository. That's it. And this is our main app. Okay, so I will create a new repository, okay, and I will push the code into the repository. Guys, any doubts as of now? Anybody? No doubts. That's great. Ping data JPA online shopping. Okay. Go back to our working folder. This is our workspace. There's so many projects we have. The name of the product, Spring Shoppy. Spring Shoppy. So many fancy stuff we have here. Spring Shoppy. Okay, done. Okay, you can go back to the repository, just refresh this. Yes, we have the project. Now you can see. Okay, see, this is the project structure, guys. Okay, main application and controller model repository. This is how you have to create. See. Okay, everyone is clear now. So can you complete this by today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have to use Apache Derby software only, guys. Don't use any SQL. Okay. Please check the repository if you are having any doubt. Okay. And today I have one meeting. Okay. So today I have a meeting because tomorrow we have a Capgemini because tomorrow is Tuesday, no? Tomorrow afternoon. Okay. So I have to attend Capgemini meet. So we have some works. Okay. So please excuse me for this day. Okay. So tomorrow we can discuss more things. Okay. So as of now, I am winding up the session. Okay. So please be in the session till 2 o'clock. If you are having any doubts, no, please ping me in WhatsApp or give me a call. Is that okay? Or do you have any doubts now? If you are having any doubts, you can ask me now.